All right. Welcome to Amalgama Radio. It is that every other Saturday. Here to bless the turntables today, we have a Miami icon. He's going to when we say that.
Peace, y'all. Peace, y'all.
But he is.
Thank you.
Romulo de Castillo, Schematic. Thanks for being here,
Thanks
man.
for having me, bro. Honored to be here.
Absolutely.
I love coming here. One of my favorite stations in Miami. I do love VUM a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much history to the VUM, right?
Bro, I just went there and it was like time traveling. It was like, like going into the future 20, 30 years because so many new buildings and stuff and like,
right.
But it's actually really clean now and it doesn't smell like it used to. You know?
That's hilarious. Yeah,
it's really nice on campus these days.
And how long has Electric Kingdom been going now? It's
Man,
like 27 years? Like
yeah,
20?
I mean, Alex Casso, respect Alex Casso.
Cookie Heads.
DJ Cookie Heads. I met him at Mary's house in maybe like 93, 94. So he's the spawn of Mary's house. So Mary's house became the Underground, which was like the underground dance show, and then the Electric Kingdom was the left field electronic IDM show. My guess is, somewhere like at least 96, 97. So 27 years of the Electric Kingdom, which I just did recently, which is awesome, you know? So yeah, that's probably the longest running show in Miami, you know?
Longer than any Power 96 show, right?
I was there when like Juan Atkins slid through one night, you know, just like that with ISIS. Respect to ISIS, Masood too.
Respect to ISIS, absolutely.
You know, Matmos came through there once and played like a live show with, you know, their props, you know, their like acupressure finder and a bird cage and Boeing cymbals and whatnot. You know, Matt Drum and bass heads went through there back in the day, you know, but yes, I'd like to get a list of like people who went through the show, but fact is I actually went there when I was 15 because Meat Beat Manifesto was playing like Club New or one of these clubs, and we just wanted to like, we're fans, you know, so we rolled up to VUM, not knowing that with our radio, like right by the door, you can't hear ish. So we couldn't even hear the show. We're just looking at, you know, Jack Dangers talk through the glass, you know, and then we asked him like, you know, what do we need to buy? You know, like, how did you start? And he's like, I started with tape recorders. And Omar and I, Super Soul, respect to Super Soul, we're just like,
we were just showing his record,
what are we
right?
going to do with tape recorders? Yeah. And he's like, buy a sampler. So we got a sampler, you know, that's how we started.
What'd you get?
The Roland W30.
Okay.
Which is like half a meg of sampling time, and it only sampled up to 30K. So, you know,
sometimes those limitations really
absolutely
can spark creativity.
Amazing little machine. Matmos actually used it as well, like, you know, into the millennium. They used the hell out of that thing. So
nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice. So kind of wanted to ask you a couple questions here to give you know, some of the history of, you know, kind of what you went through. I guess what's that, mid 90s, early 90s, all the way?
Yeah, our first record would have come out in 92, except for Hurricane Andrew came.
Right.
And then by that point, we thought, instead of releasing a record in December of 92, we threw our first rave. Kind of where Danny Days has a studio by like Milam Dairy off by the airport. It was an illegal rave. There was like all these abandoned warehouses, so we went in there with blowers. We boarded up the windows. The cops came, shut us down, but we kept going afterwards, you know. But we brought DJ Keoki, who back then was playing Aphex Twin, and it was like,
right.
And he was a resident at Limelight, and
was that at NASA? No. NASA
no.
was another club. No.
NASA, I believe, was another club.
That's the one I went to. I never went to Limelight.
Yeah. The Limelight was Keoki's place, and Jeff Mills was there for years. You know, so like I always thought Jeff Mills was a New Yorker, not knowing he was the Wizard.
Yeah, you know? NASA was for the movie Kids. Remember Kids, the movie?
Yeah. Limelight. No, but Limelight's in there too, I believe.
Yeah,
it's part and parcel of all. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The Tunnel. You know, there's all these clubs in New York that you just heard the lore of, like, you know.
Yeah.
There's this rave movie called Vibrations with, I forget the actor from Twin Peaks, and Christina Applegate. And it's made in the real raves in New York in the 90s, so it's like fierce ruling divas are in it, and you know, it's about a guy who loses his hands and then like gets mechanical hands and becomes like a famous raver from his robot hands and stuff. And you have to watch the movie. Like, I'm not gonna ruin the movie for you. Vibrations.
So my first exposure to your music.
Oh wait, but let me answer your question. So funny enough, that was our first break was summer of '93.
Okay.
We went to shop our first record, which I brought and I can play.
You and Josh.
No, me and Omar, Super Soul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Organized Revolution. So we brought our first record to shop at what was called the New Music Seminar back then, which is basically Tommy Silverman's, Tommy Boy's conference or what music conference, and he's also the guy that started the Winter Music Conference. So they wanted a place to come in March when it's cold in New York to come enjoy the weather and have a conference here. So New Music Seminar is what would become, is what created Winter Music Conference actually. Yeah, and then Music Seminar, I think the last year was like, in and around those days. So like maybe 93, 94 was the end of New Music Seminar. Okay. But that's where we went to shop our record.
Did it get picked up?
It got picked up by like some raver dude that never paid us. So we make jokes about it, but he let us stay in his apartment that summer.
Right. That's how we learn, though, right?
That's how we learn.
That's how we learn. That's
exactly.
Of your introduction
we
to
know
the,
where he's
to the
at. We know where he
industry.
lives still.
Right.
Whatever, That's that. Yeah.
Nice.
30 years ago, literally.
So I was gonna say. So my introduction to you guys was to you and Josh. When did you hook up with Josh?
Josh moved after Andrew also. So he came in like 93, 94, but we met at Miami-Dade. Just because we got booked by this guy. We basically booked the same recording engineer at Miami-Dade, Nick Fury. We both wanted him. We wanted the hip-hop, super cool, like hip-hop DJ, like a Dr. Dre type,
right, versus
versus all the other rockers. So, we knew that we had to get with this guy. So we'd booked sessions back-to-back, and we just met literally after, like, recording sessions at Miami-Dade. In Kendall, yeah.
All right, yeah.
But
who had a good music program, right?
Great,
audio
yeah.
engineering program, yeah.
Yeah. That's the only reason I went to college, when I realized that I could learn to mix and stuff. Water? Beer? Cheers, brother.
Water,
Cheers.
liquid death.
But yeah, back then there was really like, Nick Fury's on the Try by 12 Chocolate. He has a remix on that. So like there was a lot of like left field hip hop going on in Miami around that time. But yeah, we met after a recording session, and we actually like just hung out for like a year. Just like we went skydiving, we partied a lot. I was kind of like into spirituality, so he was kind of wanting to get into it, but I was kind of trying to get out. But we ended up doing one song together, which was DJ Tokyo.
That was my introduction to you guys.
Okay, so we made DJ Tokyo. So the whole crew, Super Soul, all that, they all paid for me to go to conference that year because it was, $3 or whatever. So I go to conference that year, and I actually remember, hey, little baby. I remember basically seeing Lady Miss Kier from Delight and being so nervous, but giving her my demo. I remember giving my demo to the guys from Ministry of Sound. I was like, do you like electro? And they're like, sure, but it was super awkward, like shopping a demo. And then I ended up giving it to Peter Wahelski, who ran a zine in Tampa but just got hired at Astroworks.
Okay.
So I was giving it to him just because I knew he was a dude that had a zine in Tampa, having no clue that he was going to sign us to Astroworks.
Astroworks, the first like big electronic label in the United States, right?
Vintage Astroworks, run by Brian Long, who went to Geffen. But this guy was like, he pioneered like the whole, He's the guy that signed like Jonas Sharp, who had Reflective, an amazing label.
Continue. I mean,
yeah.
That was my indoctrination to like ambient with Mixmaster Morris, him at Space Time Continuum.
Yeah, they put out Irresistible before us, Mixmaster Morris.
Right.
You remember seeing Mixmaster Morris over there at in Fort Lauderdale?
Yes, absolutely.
Global, which was
Global Chillage.
That's his album.
Oh, that's his album. Yeah, Global.
Yeah.
But Pete Namlook played there too.
Pete Namlook played there for the memorial.
Right.
For Frankie's brother, rest in peace. I forget it. Raul, I think his name was, which was crazy. There's actually a really funny story. That same venue hosted a Richie Houghton back then, whom I gave a DJ Tokyo tape to. But he knew Josh from Soul Odyssey. So it was super receptive. But that night, he was playing this warehouse, and these punks, literal punk rockers, threw a smoke bomb into that venue and caused like a riot. Like everyone ran out of the venue, and Richie Houghton didn't get to play that night at the same venue, Global, which was the After Hours to the Edge.
Which was right behind it, right?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how to get there, but
you would walk around. So the Edge was the original rave club down here in South Florida, which that's where I first heard DJ Tokyo. It must have been 12 p.m. and Mike Sharp was playing, and everybody looked up and what? Because I guess those are 303 bleeps that are just coming in, because
close enough.
It was like we hadn't really heard anything like
You know what's
that.
funny?
Everything was like Miami breaks.
We did have a 303 in our lives for a while, and it was Georgia Costa let us borrow his 303 that he got for $150, you know, at this pawn shop, whatever. And so we did have a 303 only to control another state. So we weren't even into the 303 anymore. It was tired. You know? So DJ Tokyo, funny enough though, is like, I'm super nerding out, but we used to go to the Edge, and in the back was Our Fresh. And Our Fresh would just play old school electro,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And he would kill it. But I remember the hipster techno people would be like, this guy doesn't know, you know, he's just like some dickhead.
Dude, those tapes were amazing though.
Well,
like those.
yeah, and he's still around. Our Fresh still pumping out those, you know.
Is he still in West Palm or?
I don't know where he is, but he's still like, I still see he's posting a lot of his old mixes. It's like, I got to do my homework. But
Right.
But he's part of the reason why we decided to go like fully synthetic, like not have any more breaks or samples in our music.
Right.
We wanted to make this sort of electro that he was DJing. We wanted to make that music again, you know? And we also had heard Josh Wink's Higher State of Consciousness. And
remember the story.
And we thought it was out of control. We almost thought it was whack. We're like, yo, what's this guy doing? Like, we need to show him how to control his frequencies.
Yeah, that 303, he went a little crazy.
Yeah,
with that
wee,
thing.
wee, yeah. So it's called what? No. Okay. Fresh. To what was, you know, with Josh breaks, whatever you want to call it. Josh definitely in the Florida breaks mix. You know, even if he was from Philly, even if he will play.
Right.
Biggest is,
You know, it's funny you say that about the back of the Edge. For me, that's, and I think for a lot of people down here in South Florida, you know, because in the main room you were getting house, trance, breaks, right? But once you would go out there to the patio, they would be playing ambient, trip hop, down tempo.
Yeah.
You remember Daydreaming?
Oh yeah,
and
Ken absolutely.
Ken Coleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ken Coleman's daydreaming, no?
No, Daydreaming is Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were partners for a long time.
Then
Yeah.
I know Jason. Yeah. I knew Jason.
Okay, yeah, Jason, and I believe they're the ones that kind of sparked the like ambient and like the chill, because
Well, he brought.
they're the one that's in the chill rooms.
They brought Space Time Continuum, and we had to give him back to the airport, and we had just signed to Astroworks, so it was easy to like hang out. And he had his bottle of whiskey, Jonah Sharp, so we were just drinking whiskey all night. And your asses get. He taught us. Oh shit, sorry. Jonah Sharp, you know, was teaching us, you know, how to sign a contract. So he did help a little bit, and he's still killing it. I actually saw Jonah play not that many years ago, and he's still like
he's
a master.
He's the Reagans, right?
He's
that's
Reagans
him with Move D.
Him with
right?
Move D. He's still
Right.
doing that, and yeah, like he didn't play with Move D when I saw him, but he had a younger guy, and he's still just like. I hope he comes to play Miami. So like, space people, if you're hearing me, bring Jonah Sharp out to play. Stat.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He murders it, you know.
Also, if anybody else is listening to us, we should start a chill room again. The chill room should come back. Because those were really where people kind of went to decompress, so then you could go back and dance, and you could go back and forth. And
Well, I know him because of the quote-unquote showroom. The alternative room at B Camp was for us. It was for us to DJ.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, Timbre, you know, he's Timbre, Merc, Red Sea,
Induce.
Aura, Induce, sure. Juan Plot.
Yeah, Juan Plot.
Who else got down? I mean, you know, they brought Jega at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Egg,
Jega.
Egg Foo Young, Adrian.
Of course, Egg Foo Young.
Yeah, Adrian, yeah. Maneuvers, Pancho.
Of course. Yeah, Maneuvers was still more hip hop.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
you know, but the turntablism, I mean, that we had down here at the time too.
Yeah.
Infamous and Craze. I mean, we were really like treated to some wild experimentalism, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's why I was saying about the chill out room. Like, yeah, I would play upstairs. What was it called then? It was called Mission, which was KGB before that. Remember?
Wow, I don't remember.
Yeah, those beach clubs always change names. Like Rain, remember, it was Groove Jet. Before that, it was like
the original B Camp was at Zanzibar.
It was, which was like,
and it had a great outdoor area.
It was great, but it was like this.
Small. No, it was a little bar.
Yeah,
but Panacea played there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Actually, my middle school girlfriend was part of B Camp, Girl 13, Amy Arias. So like.
Oh yeah, of course.
I remember, and she
married Toby.
She married Toby,
and
who
then moved to Colorado.
Okay, so if you talk about grime or you talk about two-step and that stuff, garage, whatever, Toby was the source of that shit.
Yeah.
So bring back Toby. But no, Amy Arias, I guess she met him in Philly, and she got really into Panacea. And I remember seeing Panacea play. I remember seeing young Otto von Schirach waiting in line to MC, and I'm like, who's this guy? You know, like, and he would get on and spit crazy over drum and bass. You know, young big Otto with dreads.
Yeah, it's so let's kind of jump into like the, kind of what became the IDM scene, because you guys are the godfathers. You and Josh.
Thanks, G.
Absolutely, and you guys inspired a whole generation at that time, and then kind of it's having that revival again. With the whole repressing of.
Definitely, I'm seeing a lot of similar, like if not even stronger vibes now, but similar of the old days. Like the seance party I played the other day for Perreo del Futuro literally was it was next door to the old schematic space, and it really just felt like an old school, like, it felt like Mesa Art Gallery. It just felt like an underground party.
Mesa Art Gallery.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It really did feel like, like it's important, and like the people are actually listening. They're not just talking and eating shit. They're wearing t-shirts, sweating, and watching the music, which you don't get so much of, you know what I mean? You get it if you pay for it, I guess, right? You got to pay to sweat sometimes, but this was just like
absolutely,
affordable party rocking.
So Mesa Art Gallery was this small art gallery in
the Gables.
In the Gables, and
the Gables
was probably the size of this studio.
Yeah, the Gables was like Wynwood back in the day. It's what had the art crawl. The art walk was in the Gables. So if you were taking like humanities in college and you needed extra credit, you would go take the trolley to every gallery in the Gables. Like, there was nothing in Wynwood yet. Not a single, So, because of being in Miami, you always could see, like, Dali paintings or Miro paintings or Picasso, right, because that's what all these people had down here, or that's what they were buying. Thanks for resetting the record. But, yeah, the Gables was popping,
yeah, but, I mean, that it was crazy because, I'll throw myself under the bus there. At that time, who was it that threw the Funk Strong party? Was it you guys?
That Chocolate, Marvin, Chocolate Industries,
right.
or Seven from Chocolate
Seven,
Industries
yeah.
He was putting out Crystal Luca from Funk Strong, so he booked the Funk Strong tour. But we all came together for that one. It was important for us not to have any, competitive vibes to make that one happen. And that was a good night.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right, good. You know why? Because I remember us doing the sound, my brother and I, and it wasn't so great. So I'm glad there isn't any bad memories about that.
I don't remember the sound. I remember, like, particular sound people, but I don't remember whoever did the sound back then.
Okay. Yeah. No, but it was... we weren't very proud of it. But, if you don't have any bad memories of it...
No, I have nothing but fond memories of that venue. Yeah.
It was... Who else went through there? Funk Strong went through there.
Dude, so the night of Funk Strong, Telephone Tel Aviv, who weren't, they weren't known yet, come all the way from New Orleans, dressed super nice in button-up shirts, like super like, hey, we're Telephone Tel Aviv. And we're like, great. And I didn't end up kicking with them. Josh ended up going out to dinner with them. And they gave us mad software on that very weekend. They gave us like all kinds of shit for our computer that we didn't know about yet. And then there's a weird story, but basically, and I'll tell it quickly because I could talk forever. But there's a time where Trent Reznor was doing Natural Born Killers in Miami at the Marlin at South Beach Studios. Okay. So that same engineer, I forget his name, I think his name was Leo, he's over at Trent Reznor's mansion in New Orleans, right? And he's like, or his boy Fabio, whom I used to work at Specs with, calls and says, yo, can you get Trent Reznor software? And I said, yo, these cats just came out from New Orleans, call them up. So we called them up, and they ended up going to Trent Reznor's house with some girl that Trent Reznor had a restraining order on, so it got a little weird. Okay. But then the guys from Telephone Tel Aviv would end up being in Nine Inch Nails for a while. So it's a little anecdote about that Funk Strong show and who was there. But we played that night. I want to say, Steve from Beta Bodega or La Mano Fria played that night. No real names. We're using code names.
Right. That's Steve's style, Steve, right. Oh, sorry.
Who's Steve, he'd say.
La Mia, right. La Mia.
That space was definitely like Chocolate, Schematic, and, maybe Merc and Beta Bodega's like spot for a while. You know?
Absolutely.
And Pop Life started off there too.
They did, and then they moved to Piccadilly, right?
Yeah, and then Piccadilly. I mean, respect to Aramis from Pop Life. Like, he would get Piccadilly to throw some insane party.
Aramis is another legend.
Still killing it.
I love that guy.
He's still killing it, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That guy has done so much for the city, music-wise, and
He used to bring Jaga too, because he loved Jaga and Jaga was on Matador.
Right.
He brought Jamie Lydell for their 10-year.
I remember that. Do you remember it started raining?
Yeah, he killed it.
And yeah, he started.
And we
raining.
started
I was one of
protecting
the
his
ones-
gear.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
one of the ones that grabbed the tarp and put it up.
But he lost. Like every girl was so in love with Jamie Lydell back then that he lost no audience to the rain. Put it that way. I mean, if you remember, I remember that night like it was yesterday.
That makes sense. So I kind of wanted, like I said, I wanted to dive a little bit more into kind of the IDM scene and kind of where you guys started. So how many monikers did you have with Josh? Was it just Phoenicia and Soul Oddity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Soul Oddity got signed to Asherworks, and when we shopped our record and Warp picked it up, we didn't realize that we couldn't use the name Soul Oddity, so we had to change the name.
But the sound changed too.
The sound changed, but that was just us,
Okay,
logical
growing.
progression.
That was evolving. Evolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then as your own, you have, right? What monikers do you have?
Yeah, my first solo name was Takeshi Muto, which is the name of like the dude that lived in my house before me.
I remember that story.
And
you would still get his mail,
I
right?
still get his awesome mail from Japan, these postcards of kids in kimono dresses, and I wish I still had them, but I borrowed that name, and then when Beta Bodega started releasing us all, they wanted us to take new names, so that was just the trend back then, like new names for different labels because they didn't want to, step on toes and whatnot. So
Right.
yeah, Pachakutek was my name on Beta Bodega.
Who was an Incan warrior, right?
Yeah, like
So-
Tupac Amaru. There's Pachakutek. Yeah,
Right. So for Beta Bodega, my moniker was Ruminyawi,
yeah.
which is also an Inca, but I'm from Ecuador, right? You're
Wow.
from Peru.
Okay,
He was
okay.
in the Ecuador
Amazing,
side of
amazing.
he was in the Ecuador side of the Inca Empire.
Yeah, so you were a big DJ for him back then. You were
Yeah,
one of the
absolutely.
yeah.
I would, do you remember
Always
the,
great DJs.
the
Insane
Sin
DJs.
Festival?
I didn't get invited to play. Ozzy, you never invited me,
What?
so I'm still mad that you never invited me. Yeah. No, I mean, I love Ozzy, bro. I love like everything he does. So like, I loved his shop. I loved his, his curation for sure. I used to kick it with Ozzy, so he'd be like, "Yo, I was the first to do this," and I get that. So yeah, like I know that he brought a lot of like electro and stuff, like DMX Crew, and he brought the Clone guys over for that. Yeah.
And so then with Phoenicia started Schematic, right? Because that's
Yeah, well, we started Schematic because we didn't realize that like it took like a year for every label to release your shit, and at the time we had like Push Button Objects making amazing music, we had Richard Devine making amazing music, so we're like, we got to start our own label. So we started pressing our records and selling them in like every city that we traveled to, and we were traveling a lot. So back then, you could sell your records in every city and buy new records.
when it used to cost like $3 or $4 to
Yeah.
record to
Actually,
press.
the first person to ever buy a Schematic record outside of Miami was in New York at Sonic Groove, was Adam X.
Nice.
And he
nice.
plays it for like 30 people really loud, and it's like, it's make or break moment, in New York, and he's like, yeah, I'll take 5 copies of each. It sounds like Reflex, but a super compliment,
Yeah, absolutely, Frankie
And
Bones.
I remember getting like a $100 Joey Beltram record, the Onslaught or whatever, but like that was the trade-off immediately. It was like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, Frankie Bones' brother, Adam X. Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you have your like aha moment of like, oh man, we got a scene in Miami here right now, like something's popping off here? Because I mean, it was you guys and then Seven.
Bro, there's
right?
cats that I went to middle school with that from Miami. Like Miami just had so many producers, and like I think it popped off when like when everybody was getting signed. Everyone was getting signed to Warp. Scott Prefuse 73 got signed to Warp. He was on Schematic as De La Rosa. Correct Techniques, which was Push Button Objects, getting signed to Warp. Everybody was getting signed.
Yeah, but you guys put out a De La Rosa before it went on
Yeah.
Warp, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Agony and.
But back then it was like you met a producer, and if you had a label, you like Prefuse was Chocolate being like, yo, make this style for us because we're doing this. We're focusing on like left field hip hop. So Scott was able to do that very, very well. So much that's what took off for him the most.
Seven had a good vision.
Yeah. He
had
did
a good vision.
He did great. Oh, great A&R, great curation. There's no doubt. Like people called him young Russell Simmons and shit. No doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember.
I remember. I hope he's doing well. I don't know much about him these days.
Yeah, I know he went to Chicago and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened after that, but yeah. So I mean, I guess there's always been DJs. Good producers that come out of here.
I mean, what happened to like Counterpoint? That dude was killing it, right?
Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what happened. But there was some insane shit. A lot of stuff happened. Yeah. But no, I mean, obviously, like the scene didn't really ever take off until like 3 Points came along. Let's be honest. Like it was, we never got that platform until that festival came along.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like on the next level.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
when Danny Days was like, "Yo, I want Phoenicia to play, Space," I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, Space is where like my bartender cousin went to do ecstasy after work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, now I gotta go play. It's crazy. But like, yeah, those people have pushed the sound further so much that it's working. We're like. Who doesn't come to Miami now to play?
Yeah, which is awesome. I thought the same thing about Space too, and then, I saw Ben UFO and Fortet play. It was one of the most amazing sets.
Yeah.
I got there. I like the good dad that I am. I woke up at 4 a.m, got there at 5, and I danced till like 12 or 1.
Remember Bardot, which was Sinopolis curated bar or whatever. It was insane.
I used to live right next to it. I loved that place.
Oh, same here. I used to live. Yeah, exactly. So like you could catch your friends play. Clark, Machine Drum. They all came through there.
RJD2.
Yeah.
Marabou State. I remember I saw them there. That was amazing. But absolutely. And I mean, I'm glad to see that you're still pretty active. I still see you like DJing all the time.
Lucky, man. I'm lucky.
You've been at it for what, 30 years now?
Yeah, literally.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, and you're
it's hard to believe. It really I still feel like I'm 16. Still feel like Peter Pan vibes. Like it's like I don't know where the growing up's gonna happen, but besides having kids and all that, that'll make you grow up.
You grew up. There's a different way of growing up.
Yeah.
Some of the dads play golf. You DJ.
But yeah, I mean, I had to say I'm usually like the oldest person at the venue, So maybe I'm like the responsible one, like make sure us and Suze,
you're OSHA.
I had to say the kids are very well behaved these days. Very well behaved. It's amazing.
Compared to the savages that we were.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Now I wanna ask you one last question, and then I want you to kind of like play some records, maybe give us some history. Now, that article about Fact Magazine, right?
Yeah.
It was a great article.
Yeah.
Had a lot of great info and intel on what the scene was here in Miami. Is there anything you feel that might have been missed or that you want to add that
Lauren Fontoni, I forget how to say his last name, but the guy who wrote that article as part of a book. So there's a whole book about B-sides and underground hip hop and left field movements of sorts. So thank you. So yeah, I mean it's part of a book. And I really enjoy his writing, and I'm not really into music journalism so much, but his stuff's like just on point. It's almost like he's like telling you what to listen to in a good way and what records.
Can we plug that book? What is the name of the book?
I think it's called B-Sides and it's something like hip hop and B. Honestly, off the top of the dome, I forget, but I do own it. It is an amazing book.
And it's Lauren
Fintoni.
Right.
Yeah. The guy that wrote that fact article, it's a book basically.
Okay. Yeah, no, that article was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's get into the music. You picked out a couple records you might want to talk about.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna get him to DJ too, but right now let's get a little.
No, I brought
little
some
history
hot stuff. I brought this kid Spac on Reflective.
Mike Pardinas. Funny enough, Mike Pardinas is who actually made Footwork popular. And so he grabbed DJ Rashad and they put out a comp, and then after that, that specific Chicago sound. The name of the comp was.
I think it was called Footwork.
Was it?
Footwork. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Rashad.
Yeah. I think they were pretty like Chicago Footwork Volume 1. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy because he made he was always ahead of it. Like, do you remember that album he made with Aphex? What was it called? It was it looked like a Warner.
It's called Mike and Rich.
Mike and Rich.
Yeah,
right. I have it. I don't.
Expert knob twiddlers. Yeah, it's an amazing record. It helped us all loosen up a little bit back then.
Right.
These really amazing producers all of a sudden made commercial suicide.
Right.
You know.
Well, Luke Viber did that so much too, though, right? Like when he went on Ninja Tune, he was playing this like.
Mike and Rich is particularly loungy and quirky music.
Okay.
You know? I mean, sometimes it hits hard. It's timeless, but it was them like really like just agitating. I think. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that record. I would have brought it. Actually, it's a crazy record. So.
Oh, you have it on 12-inch.
So back in the day, you're playing New York and whatnot. There was a girl in the crew named Roberta. My friend's girlfriend, but she used to kill it on this little Yamaha QI30, and she never told me that the song, one of the many songs that she would play live, that she released like my favorite one on wax. So I have that. So it's Oh Miami Female Action on wax. Yeah, I'm not really a big Funk Strong fan, but their Wu-Tang remix is like it's amazing. It's hopefully it gives us the chill still. Oh shit! I brought Mike Dredd and Peter Green on Machine Codes, which will later come on Reflex, but this is some insane shit.
What was his name? The owner of Beta Bodega, because we're using.
Yeah, he did. He brought Cosmic Commando.
And
he stayed here for like a month.
Yeah,
started dating some Colombian girl.
Right, but he did an insane
record for
him.
He did like
I think I
Cosmic
brought,
Commando.
Yeah, but it was straight up.
Yeah, straight up
acid house or acid whatever.
I had that record.
Yeah,
I brought some REQ on some super lo-fi left field vibes. Also later come on. Let's see. I also brought Dynamo from the Din label from '97. So this guy would become T++.
T++.
T++ is like future bass, dubstep, like crazy music.
Okay.
But this guy was a friend. Wanted to put us out and whatnot. So I brought some of his stuff. Maybe I'll play some from C4. Let's see what other heaters I have. Shit, I'm still on. Maybe some Black Dog Spanners. Yeah, we're gonna play a bunch.
Somebody stole my that record.
Got reissued, so.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I paid $80 for it in like 2001.
Just pointing out some heaters though. DR cover, Locust, not the band, but Mark Van Hoen, the producer.
Nice.
Heavily influential. Yeah, man. Brought a bunch of wax to play. Some Cavalry Voltaire, some Bay Area action. Well, when Matt Most lived in the Bay, the West EP. Yeah,
that's when they did the Rhinoplasty EP, right? That EP was.
I think that's before, but yeah, Rhinoplasty EP is just them using the sounds of
people getting
nose jobs and plastic surgery.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's insane.
The second LFO album has a song on it that's like I still don't know how he did it type stuff. Rest in peace, Mark Bell. But yeah, brought a bunch of Panasonic on Blast First.
Now,
I brought some Wish Mountain, some Radio Boy.
This for me was honestly my favorite record that Chocolate Industries released.
Yeah.
I actually have a gray version of this.
Yeah.
The Audiker remix on this.
Jesscom. Them as Jesscom, but
Jesscom, right? Which was what they did under Scam, right? It was more hip hop.
This record put everybody to work. Like people really started programming on the piano rolls and going ape shit on programming after that. So meticulous. There's like tempo changes on this. Yeah, this timeless record. But DJ Fruit from Ninja Tune would play this a lot. And I think that's how they hooked up.
Nice.
With Chocolate.
That's a label that for me was very influential.
Let's just start off with that one. I've actually played this song here before. But let's play it again, shall we? I don't know if I got it queued up. Let's see.
I think it's on the first side for sure.
This one? That's the first side?
No, but it's the first song though. I remember on mine it is. No, well, the first song, yeah, on that side.
Yep. See?
This song is insane. No?
Pump it up. Oh.
All right.
Sits the other.
Oh, yeah. That.
Rewind.
So this is, how do you say it? Auteca?
Auteca. I think they don't care how you say it.
Say Auteca.
Yeah. Push button objects. More house. Can we get more house?
All right, we're gonna shut up, and my man's gonna get busy.
Yo Yo. That last record I played was Apex's Power Pill, like the super deep remix. And this is Wish Mountain or Radio Boy, I forget which one, but it's Matt Herbert. Peace. Lacar. Before adult became adult. It's that fire. More Detroit, baby.
Living on the edge. Living on the edge. Living on the edge. Living
more Detroit, Ectomorph, when he was Flexatone on Carl Craig's label, Planet U. Shout out to 1996. Shout out to Grumptronic, Mike Dredd, and Peter Green.
Yo, but let me just practice some shit.
It's Wu, motherfucker. Wu-Tang, motherfucker. It's Wu, motherfucker. A Wu-Tang, motherfucker. It's Wu, motherfucker. A Wu-Tang, motherfucker. It's Wu, Wu-Tang, yeah.
Counterfeit the funk, I smoke the beat of the skunk, tree top of the drunk, moonshine drunken monk, yak, get shrunk, the judge is sunk, I'll be fucking beaten by the trunk, my name Black, you words wanna play in my dirt, let's stop my mama's skirt, free lunch from the church, I come like 1,000 does, bitch, you quiet at the bus, making the fuss, I got self-love, ungloved the news, watch a nigga transfuse, 30 acres of fuse, heavy as the booze, when I walk I get carried, Golden platinum fresh beats on my wall, looking properly but comely. I UFO you right, brother. The Indian and soul man had entered the white man. My grandfather step up and get knocked right the fuck out. Come to the cookie.
It's Wu motherfuckers. Wu-Tang motherfuckers. It's Wu motherfuckers. A Wu-Tang motherfuckers. It's Wu motherfuckers. A Wu-Tang motherfuckers. It's Wu, a Wu-Tang, yeah.
Bust that nigga ass. Yo, the Riddler. We collect a lot bigger dick checks than the pistol collar. The stigma, stink box, wonderful pink dot. MCs get so block, air 5 clubs to the same box. Who hands get full? Take your brain on space, on my pork strings like Dino. Great hero jump up. Life is like video footage. Directors to not around the footage to impulsive. My deadly corrosive dosage. Attack when you least notice through explosive postage. I don't play. The rap suit face saute for the double leg, arm, head, spread like plague. We drink Hennessy by the check. I got the golden egg plus the goose. 80 proof, absolute, mixed with cranberry fruit. Swoosh, ginseng boost. I got your neck in the noose. The rap's house went through killer instinct 16. While Nico sell more copies than Chink. Go like a fetus with no hands and feet to complete it.
We be turned like Jesus when the whole world need us.
Man, you put this shit too fucking low, man.
Yo, I just played that Funk Strong Wu-Tang remix. This is Jamie Liddell on Warp. REQ, baby, wreck. Check. EOG on D-Jack's up, bitch. EOG. AKA Alden Tyrell. Remember this shit? Check. Panasonic, baby. Pansonic. Mark Van Ho and Locust. What's up?
rock, world beat, jazz, urban, sports, country, big band, emergency, commercial nostalgia, comedy animation, sci-fi, nature cosmos, body heat, 70s disco, Americana, Dixieland, motivational, ballroom, blues, children, drama, epic themes, fantasy, high tech.
right. I want to thank my man Romulo here, giving us a history lesson. I'm gonna finish out here the last half hour. Thanks again to Romulo. You're the man, dude. I'm gonna keep it all Miami here. This is Omar Super Soul. You heard Romulo talking about him earlier. Big staple in Miami sound. Merc Records, one another legendary Miami label. As Merc just texted me, he is one of the founders of Fact Magazine.
Are you crazy or plain stupid?
Neither of the two. I think I'm quite smart. In fact, a genius.
Genius? You're kidding. You're the dumbest person that I've ever met.
Proem, a Spike on Beta Bodega, another Miami label, keeping it in Miami. This was the nerd music that was coming out right in the late 90s. Machine Drum's first album on Merc Records. So now you know. Last song on the album too. Way to close out a banger of an album. Right. That's how we close out today's show. On the man who was blessing the decks earlier, Romulo's label, Schematic. This is one of Prefuse 73's monikers, De La Rosa. just gonna play one more for us. All right, my man's got one more, like we said. Here we go.
Tripping? Oh, that's when a nigga come out with a swole face, you know what I'm saying? Niggas tripping, trip, get off my dick, this gangsta crib. West side. Load, 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 load. Like me, little cool. You know, crazy. What's a wolf ticket? Wolf ticket. It's a lion ass motherfucker. What's a 211? That's a motherfucking robbery. What's a 187? Murderer, BK. What's a 2?
This is a Cabaret Voltaire.
Motherfucking kidnap. What's a bust?
My man was playing all his influences today.
Niggas that ain't down
He
for the
blessed
music,
us.
punk out when they
30 years of love for music. Packed it to
Yo,
an
what's
hour
a
and a half.
strap? It's a gun. AK-47, KT, 9mm, 9mm handgun, 4.5. Shit we use to blast with. Was hitting up. Go to the park, strike with spray paint, write it, and we hit up our hood. Let niggas know. What's a tap? Shit I got on my body. Ink, used by a machine, a needle, whatever. What's a sissy? A sissy? Well, I just let the homies tell you. Sissy is a 6-0 from west side of LA. Fuck them motherfuckers. And what are Primo? Primos are weed and another form of drug called rock cocaine that they mix with this numb feeling, like a trippy high. What a sherm? Sherm is something that they dip in the stuff they shoot in dead people to, like, make them so they won't smell bad. They just dip that in a cigarette. Smoke it and it just gives you a crazy effect. Shit you don't want to fuck with. Yeah, C-Rag. C-Rag is our color. Flag of justice. What's a rip? Something like me, grip. A nigga that claim cub, slob killer. What's a gauge? It's a gun. A rifle, big rifle that you pump. And you shoot slides with. Alright, it's my shot, brother. For all you motherfuckers that don't understand what they're saying, this for all you IBM motherfuckers. Straight from the gangsters, you know what I'm saying? Trey Love, and we out of here. Trey Love? Trey Love? 30 seconds, motherfucking gangster crib. Trey Love, that's clear. Hey,
Okay. Thank you to Mr. Romulo del Castillo for blessing the decks. That was a history lesson, Hope you enjoyed some old folks speaking there for the first 30 minutes, but hope you liked the lesson.